First of all, Lux, what's his?
He had a hip flexor tightened up, and so just felt that, wanted to be extra cautious and felt that, get him out of the game.
You know anything yet for tomorrow?
I think he'll be fine, whether I decide if he's in there or not, but as far as availability, I think he'll be available, yeah.
And Flaherty, what'd you kind of make of that whole thing about how that all came together and how that looked like?
It was just a pitching clinic. I thought he did a great job of filling up the strike zone with his complete mix, used his fastball when he needed to, just minimize damage. And, once we caught a lead, he did a great job of just going after those guys and attacking. And, for us to get 7 innings in a long series was huge.
Go to Bill in the second row.
Dave, postseason heroics here, pitching from Sandy to Clayton to Fernando and Oral. For you guys to set a postseason scoreless inning record, but to do it with the number of pitchers you've done it with and a bullpen game, I know Jack went 7 tonight. What does that say about where you guys are as a team, but also how the game has changed?
The game has certainly changed. And I think that from our perspective, I think it's just a collective effort. Certainly the players that were involved in all those scoreless innings have been fantastic. I think defensively, we've been very good defensively, converting outs when we need to. I think the coaches have done a great job of relaying the information and making it tangible and allowing for our pitchers and catchers to do a great job of sequencing, catching the ball the right way, and then the front office, just the information we get. So I just think that how we're preventing runs, it's a complete, team effort, collective effort.
Go to Adam in the front.
Back to Flaherty. There's a lot on a guy when a team brings a high-profile player in at the deadline, and then he gets game one, and there's more on him. How has he handled all that part of it, sort of being the guy to come in and help with everything else going on in your starting pitch?
I think that for us, we're getting Jack at the perfect time as far as he's a veteran player. He's been through a lot, highs, lows, and found his way back. This is certainly a childhood dream for him and his family. And we just knew that, you vet a guy and you just feel that he can handle this market, handle pitching in a playoff game, starting a playoff game. And so that wasn't really a surprise for us. And I felt, like I said tonight, I think he's going to spit out a really good one tonight. And, the moment just isn't going to get too big for Jack.
Go to Clinton on the right and then Mike in the middle.
A couple of things tonight, execution-wise at the plate, took the bat out of the hands a couple of times. Everything went right in that regard. Can you talk a little bit about the execution that you guys had up and down the lineup to get so many runs?
Well, I thought, you could see clearly that Senga just didn't have his A stuff tonight. The split was non-competitive. He didn't use a sweeper, and then he was just kind of relying on the cutter, working behind hitters, walking guys. So for us to take our walks, create stress, the Max Muncy base hit was huge. And I just thought tonight we kind of checked down and got some big base hits, whether, moving a guy over, moving him up, and then getting a knock. I just thought all night long we were really stubborn. I thought the hitting coaches did a great job of putting together a game plan, and then the players executed.
Mike in the third row.
Dave, you had 10 sacrifice bunts all season. You had 2 in the first 4 innings tonight. What prompted the small ball approach?
It's just playoff baseball. I just think that, it's the fact. The truth of the matter is that the postseason is different than the regular season, and it's about kind of 90 feet and giving yourself. And some of that was making sure Shohei had a chance to get up. But to Tommy's credit, to Kike's credit, driving in those runs were huge. And then Gavin getting the bunt down, Tommy getting the bunt down. It's just team baseball, and I think that. If you can get a guy in scoring position, it just creates a little bit more stress.
I was asking about Shohei. His numbers are, with guys on base and bases empty, are very extreme this postseason. Why do you think that is, and does it just emphasize the importance of having guys on for him?
It's certainly, we're better when we get guys on with Shohei up to bat. Obviously, when guys are in scoring position, there might be a little bit more focus But I think right now he's in a good spot. And like I said, that last series, I thought he chased a little bit, but I think tonight he got back into his hitting zone and some good things happened. And even one of his outs, was close to being a homer.
Go to the second row on the right.
Yeah, hey Dave. Just curious for your thoughts on Freddie Freeman tonight and how is he feeling after the game?
Haven't talked to him yet. I felt good about getting him out after 7. Take some innings off of his legs. My expectation is that he's going to be in there until I hear otherwise.
First row on the right.
Dave, can you just kind of explain how big that is for Flaherty, not just for the win, but what it frees you up to do with the pitching staff tomorrow? And do you know if that will be a bullpen game?
We are going to run a bullpen game. Not sure right now who's going to start this game. I'll let those guys know tonight. But yeah, it's going to be a bullpen game. And we just came out of it with a lot of kind of guys that are rested and raring to go. So I feel good about that. And so, yeah, Jack being able to do that opens up a lot of things and also kind of saves some looks from some of our guys in the pen from some of their guys.
All right, Doc, we'll take one more with Carey, back left.
Dave, it might get lost in all this, but just how important was that deceptive throw by Kik Hernandez, especially squashing a potential rally?
It was a huge play. Obviously, I thought right there, I thought Jack was still, the game was still in the balance, and they started to kind of build an inning. But Kike's heads up kind of body going towards third and then throw behind the runner. Just a heady baseball play. And that right there, I thought took the wind out of their sail a little bit. You're looking at first and second base, nobody out. And, I started getting the pen going a little bit right there. So to be able to get that out and get through that allowed Jack to keep going. So that was a huge play by Kike.